Vicarage Road has been a perfect start for newly promoted Watford. Well, it's a very warm welcome back to second half independent off-tube studio commentary from the game at Vicarage Road, where newly promoted Watford lead Aston Villa by 2-0. Goals scored by Emmanuel Dennis and Ismaila Sarr. Second half is underway, and we need to see a marked improvement here from Aston Villa in the second half. Dean Smith's side not doing enough really to put pressure on that Watford defence. Take nothing away, Watford played well. They certainly did play well, but Villa didn't do anywhere near enough, and we need to see an improvement from Dean Smith's side in the second half. They have made a change as well with Jacob Ramsey brought on. I'll just confirm in a moment who he's actually replaced, but Ramsey is on the field here for Dean Smith's side now. Young attacking midfielder, and we'll see whether or not he can force a bit of an influence in this second half, as Watford now in possession down the left with Ken Sema playing the ball back now towards his own penalty area, and Christian Kabasele going back towards Daniel Bachmann. Long clearance now from the goalkeeper going towards Ismaila Sarr. That's good work though from Tyrone Mings. Gets the ball and then plays it forward. It's headed away, and it's back over. It's going to be the play's actually going to be stopped because there was an offside in favour of Watford, their Villa player. I think it was Danny Ings just moving forward a little bit too quickly. So the ball is now going to be back with Watford. But just to tell you as well that it was there's an equaliser at Goodison. It's Everton 1, Southampton 1. Everton equalising inside the first few minutes of the second half. And just to confirm as well that it's Matt Targett that's gone off here for Aston Villa. So that would only mean that Ashley Young is going to go back into his left back role to allow Ramsey to play in the attacking three. So the two 11s then for the second half. No change for Watford. So it's Daniel Bachmann in goal with a back four of Craig Cathcart, Christian Kabasele, William Troost-Ekong and Adam Messina. The three in midfielder, Tom Cleverley, Ogekamo Atebo and Juraj Kucka, with Ismaila Sarr, Ken Sema and Emmanuel Dennis as the attacking three. For Villa, Emiliano Martinez in goal, a back four of Matty Cash, Ezri Konsa, Tyrone Mings and Ashley Young. The two holding midfielders are Marvellous Nakamba and John McGinn. The three ahead of them, Anwar El Ghazi, Emiliano Buendia and substitute Jacob Ramsey, with Danny Ings as the lone front man. It's Villa in possession on the halfway line with Ezri Konsa, plays it square to Tyrone Mings. Over towards the left-hand side now for Young, who is very much in that left-back role now. Finds El Ghazi into Jacob Ramsey, edge of the area. Ramsey now finding Ings. Ings back to Ramsey. It's a lovely combination move. Plays the ball across the 6-yard box. It's just away from Emiliano Buendia. Lovely move. That's the best move that Villa have had in this game by a long way, I would say. Really good combination play down the left-hand side. Ramsey breaks into the box, plays the ball a lot across the 6-yard box, but it's at a bit of an angle. That's the problem, I think. It does get a deflection and it's put out for a corner, but Buendia was in an ideal position. The ball just a little bit too far away from him. Cross coming in now from Buendia towards the near post, headed away, back towards the edge of the penalty area. Cross coming in, which is only cleared as far as Ramsey. Ramsey takes it down and strikes it with the left foot. It looked promising the way he controlled the ball, Jacob Ramsey, but his strike in the end goes over the bar. But this is a good response from Villa, and it needs to be. They didn't show anywhere near as much attacking intent as they should have done in the first half. And certainly these first 3.5 minutes, already there's a new energy, a new drive about Aston Villa, which we need to see more of. And back over now on the right-hand side, it is Watford in possession. And Smith, you can see, very busy there on the side of the field, just trying to pass over some information to his players. But Villa now have the ball back. Matt Cash picks it up in midfield, being closed down there by Atebo. Goes back towards Ezri Konsa. Konsa now steps forward, does well to get away from Emmanuel Dennis, but Dennis picks the ball off him, but he did it with a foul, says the referee. I don't think there was much in that, actually. I think Emmanuel Dennis could regard himself quite unlucky to give a free kick away there, but Marvellous Nakamba now for Aston Villa feeds the ball into Ramsey, and now it's with El Ghazi at the edge of the area, puts a cross in, which is swept away by Ekong, and a follow-up effort from John McGinn. Well, he certainly struck it very powerfully, McGinn. Looks like he hits it quite cleanly, but it wasn't particularly accurate in the end. It misses the goal by a long way. Certainly when that ball dropped to the Scotland international on that trusty left foot, you thought he might be able to do some damage. But the ball going a long way from goal in the end. It's a goal kick to Watford. 50 minutes gone. Independent off-tube studio commentary. Watford leading Aston Villa by 2-0. And just to run you through the scores very quickly, it's still Burnley 1, Brighton 0, Chelsea 2, Palace 0, Everton 1, Southampton 1. The goal for Everton scored by Richarlison, fresh from his gold medal at the Olympics with the Brazil national team, or the Brazil Olympic team, I should say. And that's 1-1 now after Southampton took the lead in the first half through a new striker, Adam Armstrong. Leicester still lead Wolves by a 0-0, and it's Jamie Vardy with the goal for Leicester City. Watford now having to do some defending at the edge of their own box, and certainly these first few minutes of the second half are suggesting that Watford are going to have to do a lot of defending in this second half. Villa really trying to turn up the pressure now, and here is a chance now down the right-hand side for Emiliano Buendia, dispossessed, and then Messina plays the long ball up to Dennis, who touches it back to Sarr. Sarr plays it straight back to Emmanuel Dennis into some space down the left-hand side, and Dennis is breaking forward, getting towards the edge of the area, cuts in on his right foot. Strike from Dennis, went for the near post, trying to surprise Emiliano Martinez, but the Villa goalkeeper won't be fooled by that one. He dives down to his near post and makes a comfortable save in the end, you have to say, but it's a lovely counter-attack, and the combination play between Sarr and Dennis is already looking very promising, considering it's only the first game of the season. But they have a real understanding between them. A couple of times they've linked up really well, and of course they've linked up for both the goals. But here come Villa now with Buendia getting to the edge of the area. Buendia just under pressure at the edge of the D, goes down with arms aloft saying, where's my free kick? Referee not interested. Kuchka there with a strong challenge. He's got to be careful. Cuco is the only player booked in the first half, and that was a strong challenge. It was a fair challenge, but I always think that players have to be that little bit more careful. Referee in the meantime stopping play. I think it's going to be given as a free kick in favour of Aston Villa. We can just see Isco Munoz just using that international symbol of calm down, putting his arms down together, saying, look, calm down. I think he's a little bit worried that his side are just losing possession too quickly. Can sometimes be a knee-jerk reaction when you've spent 5 or 6 minutes in defence, that as soon as you get the ball you want to send it up the other end of the field and start an attack, and sometimes that just means that you lose possession a little bit quicker. Always better perhaps to hold on to it, slow things down. Referee Mike Dean unhappy with where Matt Cash had put the ball down for this free kick, but now we can see the free kick. Watford have set up at the edge of the area with the offside trap, making that a little bit more difficult for Villa to break into the box. But Cash now waiting with this free kick. Referee Mike Dean just doing a little bit of housekeeping there at the edge of the area. That's a really poor ball though from Cash. That went into the edge of the penalty area pretty much at ground level. It was so easy to clear. Ball now back into midfield, but it's pumped back into the Watford box, and it drops kindly here for Emmanuel Dennis, who is stopped. Now the referee is stopping play because of a head injury. And it looks like it's Adam Messina who's in a little bit of pain there, just rubbing the side of his head. Mike Dean just saying to the physio that I don't think it's going to be necessary, but listen, there's absolutely no issue there. If there's a suspicion of a head injury, then Mike Dean is not just well within his rights to stop play, he should stop play. It's as simple as that. There's no messing around, of course. Safety first in these situations. And Messina just rubbing the side of his head. It looks like it's one of those where he's just had a bit of a whack to the side of the forehead and he just needs a second just to gather his thoughts. It doesn't look like there's any signs of concussion. He's quite happy there, and so is the referee, in fact, for us to carry on playing. And it's going to be a drop ball, but just a drop ball to give back to Watford. They were in possession inside their own half anyway. It amazes me that every time there's a drop ball, footballers still need to explain to them that it's not a contested drop ball. I really don't understand how. I mean, this rule's been in now for a couple of seasons, and it seems like every time there's an injury and then there's a drop ball, the opposition team are saying, well, why can't I try and get the ball back? Why can't I get it back? Well, no, it's a drop ball to the team that were in possession, and that's it. It just seems like players always trying to perhaps get. Well, it's natural with footballers, isn't it, to always try and curry favour with the referee, to try and either get influence, to try and get the ball back as quickly as possible. You can't really blame players for that, but has to be a little bit more logical about what they're doing. Tyrone Mings now is going to be the first Aston Villa player booked this afternoone. The ball was on the halfway line, and he was a strong challenge, an unnecessary one as well. He goes crashing into Craig Cathcart there, Tyrone Mings, and that really is unnecessary. Craig Cathcart's playing a ball down the right-hand side on the halfway line, and he gets clattered into by Tyrone Mings. And if Tyrone Mings runs into you at full speed, shoulder on, you're going to know about it because he's a big lad. And it took Cathcart a second or two just to pick himself up. But the ball is now played back towards the edge of the Watford penalty area. And now it's Cabaselli with the ball out towards the left-hand side. Ken Sema caught in possession there by Matt Cash, and there's going to be a yellow card here for Ken Sema as well, because he knows what he's doing there. He's lost the ball and he's worried that Cash is going to run past him, so he brings him down straight away. That is very much a tactical foul, and referee Mike Dean absolutely right to show Sema a yellow card. But he's had a good game as well, Ken Sema. Perhaps not as involved as Ismaili Assar on the right-hand side, but it looks like two very dangerous wide men for Watford in Sarr and Sema, who actually did have games in the Premier League for Watford last time they were here. But it's Villa in possession now with Ezri Konsa. Fires a ball down the middle, headed forward by Messina. And then again, Watford, now you can see why Skomenov is telling his players to calm down, because that's 2 or 3 occasions now where Watford haven't been in any kind of rush, but just pump a long ball down the middle and then give it back to Aston Villa. That's no good at all. Just encouraging more possession from the visitors as Ashley Young sends a long ball looking for Anwar El Ghazi. That's headed away by Trustic-Kong, and now a bit of trouble here for Atebo to keep possession here for Watford, fighting to get the ball back. There's a Villa man down in pain, but there's no foul and there's no head injury, so we play on. A ball down the right-hand side. Ismaili Assar chasing this one towards the edge of the area. That's cleared out by Tyrone Mings. It will be a throw to Watford, but it's still quite close to the Villa penalty area. And they're not showing us any pictures of the Villa man that went down a moment ago, so it looks like everything's going to be okay with him. And it's just a throw to Watford down the right-hand side. Taken, looking for the run of Sarr. Sarr gets to the ball, puts across him, but he actually overplays it a little bit. Messina still keeping it alive down the left-hand side. He puts a cross in, which is chested down by Konsa before it's volleyed away by Matt Cash, but that loose ball is picked up in midfield here by Kuchka. Plays it back towards Trustic-Kong and Kabasele, the 2 Watford centre-backs. Trustic-Kong now over towards the right-hand side. Craig Cathcart pushing forward now for the home side. Finds Ismaili Assar. Been marked here by Ashley Young, but Sarr still on the ball, trying to find a space to break into the box. Plays a quick 1-2 with Cleverly. Oh, and then he gets brought down, does he? No, I think he might have just been losing his balance. Certainly not only maybe 1 or 2 Watford players just briefly looked towards Mike Dean, but I don't think any of them even asked about the penalty. So it looks like it's all clear that there was no foul, and the ball is now up towards the halfway line, taken down by Danny Ings. Plays it to Matt Cash. That's a heavy touch though from Cash. He's dispossessed, and now Kuchka brings the ball out here for Watford. What a great run that is. He skips past 2 Villa players, then plays it into Ken Sema, left-hand edge of the penalty area. Sema taking on his man, gets all the way to the byline. Sema gets the ball into the 6-yard box, goes down, and it's a corner. It's a corner kick to Watford. A little bit of a push there on Sema as he was getting up, as if maybe a couple of Villa players were unhappy that he went down. But Ken Sema, on the other hand, is pretty much berating the referee here. He thinks it's obvious that he got brought down for a penalty. I'm not so sure. I don't think there is enough in there to say there's a penalty. I can see why he's unhappy, because he feels there's a little bit of contact, but referee showing that it's just going to be a corner, and Captain Tom Cleverly standing over this one on the left-hand side. Cleverly gets that ball in, headed away by John McGinn. And chasing this one is Buendia. It's a race between him and Atebo, and Atebo gets there first. Great challenge there from the Watford midfielder. And then Messina puts a cross into the penalty area, which is picked up on the right-hand side here by Sarr. Sarr under pressure from Ashley Young. Tries to take Young on for pace. Young, with his experience though. It's been years now since Young got converted into a left-back as opposed to a left-winger. And he was able to just get his body in the way, draw that foul from Ismaili Assar. And now, what's pleasing though from Watford's point of view is the last few minutes, more action is taking place inside the Villa half, getting closer to that Villa penalty area as well. So Watford just slowly finding their feet now after a bit of a slow start, with Villa seeing a lot of the ball. Villa are preparing to bring on another substitution as well. Confirm in just a moment who that was. Can only see from a distance that there was some activity on the bench. But certainly one player just standing side on, does have his kit on, is ready to come on any time. So I assume the next time the ball goes out of play, it will be a second change here from Dean Smith's side. As here come Villa now with Anwar El Ghazi. Plays it out to the left-hand side for Ashley Young. Back into El Ghazi. Now it's Ramsey. Ramsey skipping past a couple of challenges. Goes down. He wants a free kick. No free kick given. And in fact, the ball came off Jacob Ramsey. So it's now going to be a throw to Watford. There is a break in play now, so it may well be that we get to see this substitution. And it is going to be Leon Bailey, Jamaica international, signed from a Bayer Leverkusen. In the Jamaican capital, Kingston. He comes on for Anwar El Ghazi. So Leon Bailey is on now, and this is interesting to see how he's gone. He's been getting some excellent reviews for his play in Germany. And we'll see how Bailey beds down here in the Premier League. He's got exactly half an hour on the field to try and change Aston Villa's fortunes. And that's a bit of a slice clearance there from Cathcart. So straight away Villa are going to get a chance here with a possession inside the Watford half. And it's with Ashley Young now down the left-hand side. Just waiting to see where his teammates are. Throws this in towards Nakamba, who's immediately under pressure, but Nakamba does well to stay on the ball. He's been really sort of hassled there by Cuco, and in the end it does pay off. Watford win the ball back, but then it's quickly cleared down the middle and picked up now by Tyrone Mings. He's now playing it inside to Konza. Towards the right-hand side now for Matt Cash. Playing it inside, but looks like there's going to be referees just checking here. Looks like everything is going to be all right. There was a problem with Emmanuel Dennis. Sorry, I was just looking to see if Dennis was going to be okay. Just down on the ground there for a moment, Emmanuel Dennis, but he's got to his feet now. That's a really strong challenge from Tom Cleverley, but a fair one. Dennis has stayed down on the field, but Watford are in possession. They've got a counter here. They're trying to keep the move alive, but now they've lost the ball. You'd imagine the next time Watford win it back, they're going to want to put the ball out of play because Dennis is still down on the ground. Only just picking himself up now. Cross comes in, it's overplayed down that right-hand side. It goes out for a throw to Watford. Dennis is now up on his feet, just hunched over a little bit on the halfway line. What happened here with Dennis? He actually gets his feet tangled with Marvellous Nakamba when Nakamba was in possession, and that's what seems to have just affected him somewhat. Seems to have rolled over badly on that on the right. It looks like it's his right knee that's been checked over. Want to see with whether he's going to be okay or not. But certainly he's been an impressive debut from Dennis, involved scoring the first goal and involved in the second. So we'll wait to see whether or not he's going to be okay to play on. Certainly Watford fans will be hoping that he is. It's now 3-0, by the way, between Chelsea and Palace. Just running through the other scores very quickly to see if there's any changes. Still Burnley 1, Brighton 0. Goal from James Tarkowski. Chelsea leading against Palace by 3-0. Alonso Pulisic and Trevor Shabala scoring the 3 goals for Chelsea. Everton 1, Southampton 1. Everton equalising an earlier Adam Armstrong goal with a strike from Richarlison just after half-time. Leicester still lead Wolves by a goal to 0. Jamie Vardy on 41 minutes there, giving Leicester City the lead. It's still Watford 2, Aston Villa 0 here at Vicarage Road. And just a little bit of a break in play now whilst the injured Emmanuel Dennis is being checked over. Late kickoff as well, also available on this service. Norwich City against Liverpool is a 5:30 kickoff. Then tomorrow, 2 games in the Premier League, both available on our service. 2 o'clock, Newcastle against West Ham United. And at 4:30, I'm very excited to see how Spurs and Man City are going to play out. Spurs, of course, under new manager Nuno Espirito Santo, minus Harry Kane for the time being. Maybe for forever. We'll have to wait and see, of course, what the deal is going to be with that. But interesting to see how City play. We would have been disappointed at not getting that Community Shield against Leicester City. But in the meantime, Emmanuel Dennis has come back on the field. He needed a minute or 2 off the field as well to be checked over. So it may well be that this is going to prove to be a little bit more serious if he can't play on. But for the time being, ball is back in play, and there's a chance now down the left-hand side, and here comes Ken Sema. He's got space as well, breaks into the box. Sema then plays it to Dennis. Oh, the ball gets tangled in his feet. Dennis with the strike. Oh, it's a very, very tame effort in the end. Maybe there is a bit of an injury worry there for Dennis because he should have done a little bit better with that. It's another brilliant ranging run from Ken Sema, and yeah, now just after that effort, you can see that Emmanuel Dennis has turned to the bench and started, doing that, spinning his fingers round to say, "Look, I need to be substituted here." He's just sat down again in the middle of the park. So Watford are going to have to make a change here. Looking at the Watford bench, it's Ngakia, Gosling, Sierralta, Hernandez, Deeney, Rose, Fletcher, Lusa, and goalkeeper Foster. So we'll wait to see if it's just going to be a straight swap, bringing on Troy Deeney here for Emmanuel Dennis. As it is, he's still having that left ankle checked over. So Watford are getting ready to make a change, and it's not going to be Troy Deeney by the looks of it. There's another change been readied here by Ithgo Munoz. Just waiting to see who he's trying to bring on now. It looks like it may be Sierralta. Just confirm that in a second, but no surprise that a big round of applause here for Emmanuel Dennis as he leaves the field. It was an excellent performance from him today, and I'm sure we'll be seeing more of him as the Premier League season plays on. Thomas really frustrated with that injury. So he doesn't have to worry too much about making a good impression on his debut. He's certainly done that. Be very happy with how he's played today. And so now we are seeing this change for Watford. And it is going to be Cuco Hernandez who comes on here for the remaining 25 minutes. It is going to be Juan Camilo Hernandez now on the field here for Watford. See the Colombian signed from Getafe. Having previously also played at Mallorca and Huesca. That's before he had started his career in his own country in the Colombian league. We'll see how he plays out here for the rest of the match. But it's Villa on the attack now down the right-hand side. Ball gets to the edge of the area and they're dispossessed. And now Eteba rolls the ball forward. And here come Watford now going through the middle. There's a foul on the halfway line instead. There was. Referee says that so we're going to play an advantage. That was the right decision because Watford is still on the attack. Down the left-hand side. It's a stroll! What a goal! What a strike that is! What an introduction to the Premier League from Hernandez. He has been on the field for less than 30 seconds. Gets the ball on the left-hand side, cuts in on his right foot and sends an absolute beauty in off the post and into the back of the net. What a debut from Camilo Hernandez. Absolutely superb. And the Watford fans, no surprise that they're absolutely delighted about that. It's a superb effort here from Hernandez. He'll be absolutely thrilled with that. Camilo Hernandez, we're going to see more of him this season if he's scoring goals like this straight off the bench. Kuchka gets brought down on the halfway line. Then so does Tom Cleverley. The referee plays a double advantage, you could say, because the move is still alive. Hernandez gets it, cuts in on his right foot, and it's a fantastic strike. In off the post and into the back of the net. An amazing introduction here from Hernandez into the Premier League. Absolute dream debut off the bench, and Watford are cruising in this game now. 3-0 up against Aston Villa with 23 minutes still to play. Absolutely no chance there for goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez, and Hernandez absolutely delighted with that, running straight over to the Watford fans. And it is a 3-0 lead now for Watford at Vicarage Road. Is back with Ezri Konsa. So this is certainly not the start of the season that Dean Smith would have been hoping for from his side. But they found themselves a little bit pedestrian at times in terms of their possession, combined with the fact that Watford really have looked absolutely bang up for it today. Means that Villa have got a real deficit to try and make up here. 3-0 down now with 22 minutes to go, and the ball is out for a throw. Just to tell you that it's 12 attempts on goal from Watford in the game, just 4 from Aston Villa. Watford have had 6 efforts on target and they've scored 3. Villa have not had a shot on target, so in 68 minutes at newly promoted Watford, Villa have not had a shot on target yet. That tells you just how much Dean Smith's side have struggled today. Watford getting ready to make their second change of the afternoon. Looks like it's going to be it's not. Is that Kuchko to go off? It is Kuchko to go off. He's had a good game today, but he's been replaced by Dan Gosling. So Gosling on the field now for Watford. He's just trying to shore things up a little bit in midfield. Kuchko on a yellow card as well, so it makes perfect sense to bring on Dan Gosling. Over now on the right hand side, but Gosling coming on now just to try and keep things a little bit more solid in that midfield for Watford now with around 20 minutes to go. Idea this from manager Ithgo Munoz. Now it's with Ashley Young now down the left-hand side for Aston Villa. Gets the ball in towards Leon Bailey. Bailey trying to take on Cathcart. Gets an early cross in. Oh, what a response that is. What a strike that is. And it's John McGinn hitting it first time from the edge of the area. Villa are on the board this afternoon. They do have a strike on target. And goodness me, what a strike it was. Really good work from Leon Bailey down the left-hand side. And a little bit too much space here, and if it's going to be a race for pace between Bailey and Cathcart, it's not really a fair fight, is it? And Bailey, in the end, deciding not to try and take on Cathcart. He just stops and puts a cross in, and it's hit first time, left-footed, curling away into the bottom corner. It really is a very, very good strike from John McGinn. We know he's got an excellent left foot, and he certainly proves that with that effort. Into the back of the net it goes. 70 minutes gone. Independent Off-Tube Studio commentary. Watford 3, Aston Villa 1 now with that goal from John McGinn. Now taken and going back towards Ezri Konza. So is there still life in this game? Can Villa now fashion some sort of comeback? They've got 20 minutes to score 2 goals, so certainly in theory you wouldn't rule against it. And now with that goal, perhaps they've just felt as though they're a little bit more confident in the game as well, because they really look very pedestrian for long spells in the first half. But that goal from McGinn just making things a little bit more interesting, and Villa making their third and final change as well, with Emiliano Buendia to go off to be replaced by Bertrand Traoré. So Bertrand Traoré on the field now, and we'll see how he can influence the game in the last 19 minutes or so, looking to try and get his team back into this game. If they were to get a second goal here, Villa, in quick succession, then all of a sudden Watford would feel under real pressure. And it's important for Watford not to go into their shell too much. They don't want to be attacking again now, but at the same time they don't want to be sat back and waiting for the end of the game, because there's still a long time to go. And Cash has just won the ball here for Villa down the right-hand side. Gets that ball into Bertrand Traoré. Traoré over, hits that cross by quite a bit. No chance for a teammate in a Villa shirt to get on the end of that one. Out for a goal kick now, and a chance for Watford to just try and slow things down in the middle of the park. See Isco Munoz and his assistants, they're having a quick discussion how best to manage the last 18-19 minutes of this game. It's always been a good performance here from Watford this afternoon. Just have to make sure they don't have any nasty surprises now in the last quarter of this match. But goalkeeper Daniel Bachmann just taking that little bit longer now to take his goal kick, just making sure everyone's in the right place in the middle of the park. Always trying to kill a few seconds here wherever they can. The team in front, as Traoré now chasing a loose ball down the right-hand side, but it was Trusticong that got there first. Headed forward now by Konza, picked up by Atebo for Watford. Now it's, the ball is lost after they cleverly headed it back towards goal. The ball played in towards the penalty area. Picked up there by Bachmann. Just waiting now, Daniel Bachmann to get his teammates a little bit further forward. Confirmation that today's attendance is 20,051. It's just great to see football fans right across the country being able to go back to their favourite stadiums. And I'll say that it's been an exciting start to the Premier League with that win for Brentford last night against Arsenal. We promoted Brentford, embarrassing Arsenal, and then Manchester United starting very strongly today, beating Leeds United 5-1 in the early game. And plenty of goals already in the 3 p.m. kickoffs. Just to tell you that there's been an equaliser for Brighton at Burnley. I'll confirm the goal scorer in just a moment. There's also potentially going to be a goal for Everton at home to Southampton. Looks like they're having a good moment in attack as well. But for the time being, it is Villa in possession here going forward. Bailey just couldn't quite hold on to the ball. It's quickly cleared down the right-hand side, and this is what's going to frustrate Munoz. We've seen this too many times from Watford today. When they win the ball back, they're sort of keen to try and send it long, which isn't the best way forward. I mean, I suppose that their fear is they might get caught in possession if they try and play around with it in midfield, but just sending it long means that it's guaranteed that Villa are going to get the ball back. That's certainly not the way that Watford should be trying to play. We've got 16 minutes to go, and at the moment it is Aston Villa in possession down the right-hand side with Bertrand Traoré Playing it back towards Marvellous Nakamba over on the left-hand side. Ashley Young playing it in towards, it's a cross coming in there from Leon Bailey, but it's headed away towards the edge of the area. Chasing it was Matt Cash, but I don't think he's going to get on the end of that one, so it is out for a throw to Watford. Dean Smith still barking out instructions to his players, trying to get some sort of motivation in these final minutes, because if Villa were to score again, then all of a sudden this end of the game becomes very, very interesting indeed. Watford need to do everything they can to try and avoid conceding a second goal here. Ball is headed forward. Picked up here now by Tyrone Mings for Aston Villa. Plays it to Ashley Young. Young being closed down by Watford's third goal scorer Hernandez. Played back now towards the left-hand side for Leon Bailey. Bailey back to Young. This is Aston Villa in possession, but it's still a long, long way from goal. And just to tell you that it is 2-1 now to Everton against Southampton. Abdoulaye Doucouré giving Everton a 2-1 lead. And the goal scorer for Brighton was Neil Maupay. So Maupay giving Brighton a equaliser there at Turf Moor. Meanwhile, it's with Tyrone Mings in midfield. Sent a long ball over the top, looking for the head of Traoré, but that's headed away by Messina towards the halfway line. Picked up now by Tyrone Mings. That's not a good ball, straight to Craig Cathcart, but Cathcart immediately gives it away himself, and now it's with Bailey. He goes back towards McGinn. Here's Traoré now on the right hand side. Bailey carried on his run, getting towards the right hand edge of the penalty area. Plays it back to Traoré. He's got two Watford players around him. Back the ball goes to Bailey. Bailey just does a quick step over, gets away from his man, and then stands the ball up. It's a good ball into the 6-yard box, just headed away before it got through to Danny Ings. And then there's a strong challenge at the edge of the area. Nakamba goes down. He wasn't fouled, but then seconds later the Watford man is brought down by Danny Ings, and that was a foul according to the referee. So certainly the Villa fans are Villa players, I'm assuming the Villa fans as well, but the Villa players are very unhappy about this, because they'll feel as though there was already a bit of a push away there from Cleverley. I'm not so sure there was a foul there from Cleverley. And then Ings winning the ball back, giving the free kick away. In trying to win the ball back, he gives that free kick away. And it's Aston Villa now having to try and win this ball back again, but once again Watford are just creating problems for themselves here. That's such a bad ball from defence there. Cathcart just sending a long ball out towards the left hand side, goes straight out for a throw, and it is Aston Villa now heading back towards their own goalkeeper. Things have just slowed down somewhat, and that's certainly the intention of Watford. They don't want to make it too easy here for Aston Villa to develop some speed in the game, to develop a bit of a rhythm, and then try to actually go for that goal to make it 3-2. If it was to get to 3-2, then we'll see some real sort of defending from Watford right at the edge of their own box. Then Villa would start to really push people forward to try and get a late equaliser. Meanwhile, ball is over on the right hand side here for Aston Villa. Konza square to Mings. Ramsey over towards the left-hand side. Now, Young tried to start a run there, but he's dispossessed, and now is a chance for Hernandez heading towards the area. Feeds a ball down the right-hand side here for Ismaila Sarr. Sarr steps over, keeps the ball in play, and then tries to win his side a corner. It's actually a foul against Ismaila Sarr. It's a clever play there from Ramsey. Just got his body in the way there, making sure that Sarr had no way really of going after the ball. There's going to be another change here for Watford as well. It's going to be an interesting change as well. This really does surprise me, because we're going to see Captain Tom Cleverley go off, and he's taking off the captain's armband to hand it to the substitute, who is Troy Deeney. So does that mean that potentially Hernandez is going to be asked to go a little bit deeper now? Can't really see the point of bringing Deeney on when you're 3-1 up with 11 minutes to go, unless he's now playing as a bit more of a central midfielder, which again wouldn't make much sense to me either. So have to wait and see. I think it is going to mean that Hernandez just has to go back a little bit, and Deeney now reprises his regular number 9 role. There is a ball down the right hand side now from Matt Cash, looking for the run of John McGinn, who shows great strength there to bounce off Christian Kabasele, but he couldn't keep the ball for Villa, and now a chance here for Watford to break out down the left-hand side, but Gosling couldn't quite keep the ball in play. So a throw to Aston Villa, heading back towards their own half for the time being. It's with Ashley Young now, and he goes back towards Tyrone Mings. Mings now waiting to see where his teammates are, but he doesn't see any options for a pass, so he's forced to go back towards his own goalkeeper. Villa need to introduce a little bit more pace into all of this. Right now it's all going a little bit slowly in terms of midfield possession, but they're going to get a bit of a helping hand there from Craig Cathcart. Clumsy challenge on Leon Bailey, and then it's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. Ashley Young there complaining that Ismaila Sarr's not getting out of the way, but Mike Dean is just telling both players to calm down. We know both players are trying to do this. Sarr doesn't want the free kick taken quickly, and Young wants to get Sarr booked for the fact that he's standing in the way, but the referee just asking Young to retake it. Now a ball played towards the edge of the area, and it's picked up here. It's a good chance as well for Danny Ings. Just tried to get that ball square inside the penalty area, but he gets dispossessed, and now it's with Ogenekapo Tabo, but he was under pressure, had to go back towards Cathcart, and then Cathcart clears this down the right-hand side. Mings laying the ball back towards goalkeeper Martinez, and now Villa once again trying to head forward, but running out of time here now. 81 minutes gone. Independent off-tube studio commentary. I can tell you that Everton have a 3-1 lead now against Southampton, and it's Richarlison with the first, Doucouré with the second, and now Dominic Calvert-Lewin with the third. So I mentioned earlier in this match, I do fear for Southampton a little bit. Don't seem to be backing their manager very much. A couple of really big players. Bertrand allowed to leave on a free. Vestergaard sold for not really big money. Ings sold to Villa. Doesn't seem to be much sign of any sort of flagship replacements for those players. So it could be a long old season for Southampton. But in the meantime, getting back to action here at Vicarage Road. It's a chance now for Villa to get forward here after Sarr was dispossessed. And Young gets to the edge of the area, finds Leon Bailey. Bailey being blocked by Cathcart, puts a right-footed cross in, which is headed away by Kuchka. By Gosling, I should say, and Gosling then heads that one towards midfield. It's then played through to Deeney, but Deeney couldn't control that. It's now Aston Villa back in possession. Here is Tyrone Mings over towards the left-hand side for Ashley Young. Young playing that ball forward for Bailey. Back to Ramsey now in midfield. Ramsey going across towards the right-hand side. Here's Matt Cash. Cash then finding Bertrand Traoré. Traoré stepping past a couple of Watford players, then putting a cross in, which is taken down by Ramsey. He finds Bailey. Bailey breaks into the box, tries a curling effort with the strike. It's a big deflection, but the big deflection comes off a Villa player, so it's not even going to be a corner after all of that. It looks like who's borne the brunt of that? It looks like there's a Villa player down inside the penalty area. This ball is laid off to Bailey. Then tries to get a strike in. It's charged down. It is charged down by his own teammate. It looks like it was Danny Ings that needed a second there to just pick himself up, compose himself. Frustration for Bailey there, seeing his effort stopped by his own teammate. Waiting for it now is goalkeeper Bachmann. Clearance now from the goalkeeper. Ball headed forward by Esri Konza. Cathcart gets his ball back though for Watford, and now he plays it back towards Trustekong. His ball is towards Troy Deeney, taken down the left-hand side here by Hernandez, who is fouled. That's a clumsy challenge there from Matt Cash. And that's the kind of challenge that slows the game down as well. That'll be frustration. That'll be very frustrating for Dean Smith, seeing his side putting themselves into this this kind of situation now where they're not able to get forward. You can certainly see from that replay, and it wasn't a good challenge from Matt Cash. Doesn't get a booking though. I think there's been a couple of lighter fouls in this game that have already picked up a yellow. Now the free kick for Watford, and it's Ken Semer standing over this one. Sends it long towards the right-hand side, heading for Ismaila Sarr. Saar does have support down the right-hand side through Cuco. So the ball goes out. It is going to be a throw to... Is it a throw to Watford or a throw to Aston Villa? Both sets of players trying to convince the linesman that it is going to be a throw to Watford. Craig Cathcart is standing over this one. Just waiting to see where his teammates are. Long throw from Cathcart, headed out. And that is going to be another throw to the home side, which suits them down to the ground. Anytime they can spend away from their own penalty area and near Aston Villa's box is going to be good news. Troy Deeney certainly won't mind to see his side trying to keep as much attacking possession as they can. It's now with Craig Cathcart. His throw towards the edge of the area, taken down here by Hernandez, but he's dispossessed. Nakamba now brings the ball out for Aston Villa. He gets the ball early to Ings, who hits it first time, trying to switch play over towards the right-hand side for the run of Bertrand Traore. But it's not to be. The ball is now back in Watford possession, headed forward and picked up now by Jacob Ramsey. Ramsey under pressure. Use that ball for Ings, does really well to keep the move alive, and that's a clumsy challenge there from Etebo. Not sure what he's trying to achieve there by giving that free kick away in such a dangerous position. There's still plenty of work for the Villa man to try and do. As Ings left the ball here for Ramsey. I'm not sure that foul was really necessary. He's in a quite dangerous position as well. Just encourages an effort on target here from Aston Villa. With still 4 minutes plus injury time to play. Villa trading 3-1. If they could get something from this free kick, all of a sudden really Watford would really start to get quite nervous. And goalkeeper Bachmann still trying to organise that wall, make sure that his players are positioned exactly where he needs them to be. Ashley Young looks like he's won the debate in terms of who's going to be taking this free kick. Just waiting to see where the Watford players set themselves up in terms of making a wall and having players just to the edge of that wall as well. He's there trying to organise the wall for his goalkeeper. Dean's happy now though for us to see this free kick. And it's Ramsey and Young standing over this one. Is it going to be the left foot of Ramsey? No, but Ramsey leaves it. It's actually going to be Leon Bailey that strikes this one, but Bailey sends it over the bar. Not sure it was the right move. He's a left footer shooting from slightly over on the left-hand side. It's not far from goal, but it's straight down the middle. There was never any danger of Bachmann letting that one in, even had it been on target. So I think, from that point of view, Bailey might be a little bit disappointed. I'd say didn't do more to test the goalkeeper. Bachmann now waiting to restart play. Not the start of the season that Dean Smith was looking for, but it's a long season. Not everyone can win on the first day, can they? It's not physically possible for that to happen. So it's important that Villa think of the bigger picture, but it will be a worry. There will be a worry the way that they weren't able to really rise up to the occasion. In terms of their next fixture, Watford play away at Brighton next Saturday. That's in the early evening kickoff. Whereas Aston Villa's next game is at home to Newcastle. That's next Saturday, but that's going to be a 3 p.m. kickoff. It's 3 p.m. kickoff, so return in earnest now. We'll have the disjointed round of fixtures that we had. Although, of course, for many spectators, it would have been fabulous to see that many games over a weekend. Normally, say 3 or 4 of them would normally clash. But is there going to be a clash inside the penalty area here as Ings is trying to shape for some space after a cross-in from McGinn, but that one goes straight out for a goal kick. Has to be said, Ings hasn't had the best service this afternoon, that's for sure. I think he'll be a little bit disappointed. His teammates haven't been able to get the ball to him more often, but then there's not been too much attacking possession for Aston Villa either. They've struggled to get efforts away on target. Once again, Bachmann trying to take as many seconds as he can here to try and set up for this goal kick. Long clearance from Bachmann now. Headed forward by Matt Cash. Picked up in midfield here by Etebo. Plays it out towards the left-hand side. Here is Hernandez now. Hernandez cuts back in on his right foot, puts a strike in, which almost got flicked on towards goal by Deeney. Not sure Deeney got a touch on it in the end, but the effort from Hernandez alone gets through to goalkeeper Martinez with no problems at all. And now here come Aston Villa going through the middle with Ramsey out towards the right-hand side. Good chance this now for Bertrand Traore. He breaks into the penalty area, puts it onto his left foot, but then shows too much of it towards Adam Messina, who just is able to push Traore outside the box. Now it's with short ball in towards McGinn. McGinn tries to strike, he gets a deflection, which could have got into the path of Tyrone Ming. Could have gone into the path of Danny Ings, but the ball is just a little bit too fast for him, and it is out for a goal kick. And we're into injury time now at the end of this second half. 6 minutes of injury time. Doesn't surprise me really with the long injury to Emmanuel Dennis. That took a little while for everything to be sorted out, but it does mean that there's still plenty of time here for Villa. If they can get a goal back to make it 3-2, then they will still have time to try and go for 3-3. It's certainly going to be a long 6 minutes here for Watford and their fans. Very keen to try and hold on to these 3 points. It's be the perfect start for Watford. They were playing at home to Aston Villa. It's not the hardest match you can get in the league, but it's certainly not an easy match at all. It would have been one that the manager and the players would have been very aware of, that if you don't start well against Aston Villa and don't keep the ball, they have certainly got plenty of players that can punish you. And Watford now just having to do some more defending here, giving away a free kick around about the halfway line, just inside the Villa half in fact. But goalkeeper Martinez is stood over this one, needing to take this one long. It's a long clearance now from him towards the edge of the area, headed across, flicked away by Adam Messina. Loose ball now drops to Ismaila Sarr. Ramsey in the end couldn't keep that one in play. He's had a couple of good moments in this game, Jacob Ramsey, but he's also had a very few frustrating ones. He's not been able to finish off the moves that he's been trying to. So I do wonder what the future for Ramsey is. I mean, he's still a very young player, of course, but with these attacking signings made by Aston Villa in the summer, could well be that it's going to be even harder for Ramsey to get into this first team. That's why when he's in the first team, he's got to do everything he can to try and show the manager that he is the best man for the job. So they're chasing down the right-hand side, forces the deflection. It is a throw to Watford now, which is taken by Cathcart. Cathcart gets the ball in towards Deeney, and that one's deflected out for another throw to Watford down the right-hand side. Cathcart waiting to take this one. Gets that ball in. It's headed out for a throw. To Watford, and it's Cathcart once again. It's all being done at a snail's pace here. Certainly don't feel compelled here, Watford, to do anything quickly. They're trying to just slow things down, make it as difficult as possible here for Aston Villa to play out from the back. And no, Villa are expecting a free kick there after Ramsey hit the deck, but the linesman literally stood next to it, says there's no foul. It's just going to be another throw. So we've had 3 minutes of injury time already. Watford doing their best to slow things down, just to not give Aston Villa any chance of even getting out of their own half. And for the time being, it seems to be working. Now, trying to keep it in play there was Ismaila Sarr. The ball just gets away from him. So it is now a goal kick to Aston Villa. They've still got 2.5 minutes of injury time here to try and save something in this game. As goalkeeper Martinez puts the ball down, just waits to see where his teammates are. Long clearance now from Martinez, headed forward, then a huge ball booted down the middle here from Tabo. It's almost like a touch finder in rugby. Absolutely slammed that one forward, and goalkeeper in the end able to keep that in play. And Villa once again starting from the back. Less than 2 minutes now for Villa to try and get a goal here to make it interesting, to perhaps still chase a draw, but it's going to be very hard with so little time left as the ball comes in from the right-hand side. It's a slide challenge. The ball's out for a corner kick. So this is still time, potentially now for Villa, if they can get this ball in quickly. John McGinn with his left foot is going to be sending an in-swinger here from the right-hand side. In-swinger from McGinn, always stops at the edge of the 6-yard box. It wouldn't quite get through towards Tyrone Mings, though. It's cleared back towards the halfway line. Pumped forward now. It's by Ashley Young towards the edge of the area. Villa win it back here again with Bertrand Traore now down the right-hand side, skipping past a couple of players. Traore is brought down, and with a minute of injury time to play, Watford have conceded a penalty here. Traore brought down, and a great chance here for Villa to get another goal back. Whether or not they'll have time after the penalty to do too much remains to be seen. But it's clumsy from Adam Messina. He's got his hands behind his back there to try. I mean, that's a crazy challenge from Messina. What is he trying to do there, really? It's a very easy decision there. He lifts his leg up and he's practically tripped Traore at sort of thigh level. It's not even tripped him with his feet. He's sort of got his leg across almost like a sort of barrier. It's a crazy challenge, really, from Bertrand Traore. And it's going to be a penalty now to be taken by Danny Ings. We have to patiently wait now whilst the referee does all the housekeeping to get everyone outside of the box to make sure there's no encroachment and to make sure the goalkeeper is behind his line, etc. But we should be getting this penalty any second now from Danny Ings. If he scores this, by my money, there's about a minute of injury time to play on top of the 6 minutes we've already had, because we've lost a bit of time now for this penalty. But Ings against Bachmann. Referee Mike Dean whistles, and it's straight down the middle. Goalkeeper dives to the right. Ings gets the ball into the back of the net, scores on his Premier League debut here for Aston Villa. And we've had the full 6 minutes now, so whether or not Mike Dean is going to... I'm assuming Mike Dean is going to allow play to restart, but whether or not we see any more after that remains to be seen. Is it going to be another 30 seconds, another minute? Very confident penalty from Ings. Sent it down the middle as the goalkeeper's diving to his right. And Watford now just looking to restart play. They're not in any hurry to do so, but we are back underway now. Ball played forward towards the edge of the area. Mings picks it up here. What a run this is from Tyrone Mings. He beats 3 players, gets all the way to the edge of the Watford perimeter, but stands up across, which is well headed away by Messina. Loose ball drops it to Cash, who's missed it, but then Traore breaks into the box. Traore goes down inside the box. There's no foul, but then Cash picks up the loose ball. He's now got the ball over on the right-hand side, being put under all kinds of pressure. Plays the ball back towards the right-hand edge of the box, but the cross comes in. That's saved by Daniel Bachmann. That also might be game over as far as this match is concerned. But 7.5 minutes of added time, so it's a minute and a half over what we're supposed to have in the original 6 minutes of injury time. I think that really now the match should be over, but referee Mike Dean still finding some extra seconds here. Bachmann now with a long clearance down the middle. And referee Mike Dean does call time here at Vicarage Road, where Watford have started their return to the Premier League in great style, beating Aston Villa by 3-2. This is exactly the start that the newly promoted club wanted, but it's certainly not the start that Villa would have wanted. They'll be looking for a big improvement in their next game. But that's it for this match. Thank you very much for your commentary this afternoon. More to come with Norwich against Liverpool from myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz. Thank you very much. Do join us again soon.